News, views, voices of the global Indian community. India abroad.
Okay, hello, my name is Shivani Parikh. I'm originally from Rockland County, New York, but I now live in New York City. I'm graduating from Fordham Law School next week, and I'm excited to be moving to Queens, which is where a huge part of our Indian American community has been living for the last 30 plus years. Something that I did want to share for the youth is to encourage more folks to go to law school. In our community, we have a bit of a saying that, to be successful, we encourage our young people to become doctors, lawyers, and engineers. But unfortunately, we don't have too many people who are picking option number two. And the reason that this is important, especially as we look ahead for the next several decades, is because for us to be successfully involved and impactful in our democracy and to be seen as a worthwhile voting bloc to understand, we need to recognize that the courts, people who are appointed as judges, people who become elected as politicians, when they don't look like us, it means that our issues are not getting brought to the table. But then when it comes to the legal side, is that when we see these injustices, do we have the strength within our community to rely on that specialized knowledge and culturally affirmed approach to say, this is an injustice and it is time for us to become litigious, aggressive, and consistent. And so when it comes to our civil rights, if we are not organized in that manner, we're going to continue to fall behind and keep hoping that things change for the better without taking accountability and power into our own hands. So that is what I'm happy to share today. Yes, I think that there are two answers to that question. Unfortunately, many people from our community have a bit of a old-fashioned idea that lawyers are liars. That is misinformed, because the reality is, of course, that lawyers are persuasive. But more to the point, I think that many people who come to this country from India are from STEM backgrounds or engineering backgrounds, medical or healthcare profession backgrounds. And so it becomes a more natural impetus that when you're raising your kids in this country, you want them to be really great at math and you want them to be really great at science. We often put public speaking, communication skills, effective writing, strong English, having a thorough vocabulary, reading advanced books as more of a nice to have or as a plus, as opposed to a foundational skill, which we later see when it comes to not being able to move up in any profession. Those are really necessary soft skills. And a lot of the work that we do as lawyers, and I should admit I'm not, of course, quite a lawyer yet, but I hopefully will be very soon after I take the bar exam. But when we don't prioritize those things in our young people, it sort of puts law school as an impossibility or as something that you wouldn't even consider for your higher education. The other element of it too is that I actually studied sociology in college, and the thing that's very critical there, and something that I had the opportunity to say on our panel earlier today, is that we need supportive parents in order to cultivate strong youth. My parents, of course, I wouldn't say that they brought me up saying we want you to become a lawyer, but rather when I expressed an interest in this being my life path and wanting to be politically outspoken, civic-minded, they understood and respected that choice, and they always made sure that I felt that they were proud of me, even when other young people that I grew up with maybe chose more quote-unquote traditional career paths for our Indian American community. So I do want to say to my parents, thank you. So I think the main thing that actually my two peers are going to be able to talk about in more detail is, what does it mean to leverage the youth vote? What does it mean to mobilize Indian Americans, particularly what can Indian American youth bring to the table to educate our elders and our parents' generation in why voting, they should also, come out to vote. And then the third one being, what does it mean to be a part of an American democracy, and what does it mean to be excited and engaged as a part of this process? Because we should not count ourselves out just because we haven't always been reached out to. We need to be compelling enough to have a cultivated sort of message about what it is that we want from candidates, and then hold them accountable to us.